Hi, my name is Janae. I'm a yoga instructor here at the JCC. Today we'll be doing a lower body stretch to help with our range of motion and mobility. Well, we're going to start with our lower body stretch today. It would be helpful to have 2 blocks or maybe even a water bottle, anything that can help bring the ground up to you for more stability and support in these postures. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll begin in child's pose. So we'll bring our toes together, knees out wide. And then we're going to bring our hips back and then walk our arms forward for our child's pose. Really getting settled in here, the beginning of this practice. Forehead is down to the mat or to the ground, whatever surface you're on. We'll take a big breath in, find some space here, lengthen in the spine, and then we'll exhale all of our air out as we just melt down closer to the mat. Let's try that again. Inhale, let's find some space, really lengthen here, and then exhale just to melt, release everything back down. We'll just spend a few more moments here, just breathing with our regular breathing pattern. Each time we're taking those breaths in, really think about lengthening, expanding. And every time we exhale, thinking about settling and releasing. Another round of breath here. Then we'll press into our hands, lift the torso up, and then come to our tabletop position. So tabletop, our hands are spread wide, our knees are hip-width distance apart, and our toes are tucked. Just do a few cat-cows here, just to warm up the spine. So on our cow pose, we're pressing to our hands, lifting the chest, flaring the tailbone, gaze goes up high to the sky. And then we exhale to press down, round in the spine, tuck the tailbone, chin goes to our chest. Just a few here, getting the body ready for some movement. If you want to add in a few stretches here, such as a wrist stretch, you can take your palms, you can take your hands and turn the fingertips towards you, and then lean the hips back, and then forward. Coming up high on those fingertips. Once you feel good there, reversing, going to the other side as you reverse the fingers back towards you, leaning back, going forward. These are just some options. Staying in your cat-cow is also such a great thing to do here. A few more breaths here. Wonderful. We'll come to our neutral spine here. That means we have a flat spine. We're pressing the ground away. And then on our next breath, we're going to send our hips up and back for our downward facing dog. So we'll bring our hands out wide. Our feet are hip-width distance apart. Take a big breath in. And then you exhale to let it go, trying to get the chest to go towards the back of the room. Trying to work our heels closer to the ground. It is okay if they do not touch. Again, a big breath in, fill up, finding your space, and then exhaling to let everything go. Really good. Our next breath, we're going to bring the weight into the left foot as we raise the right leg up and back. And then our right knee will come in through center. We'll plant the foot in between the hands for our low lunge, and then drop this back knee down to the mat. So we're in a low lunge with our knee down. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up and over for our Anjane Asana. Now, we want to start off with the hips up high. The shoulders are stacked over the hips, and we want to get up high first, feeling what it's like to be in this position before we take our big breath in, and then exhale to sink the hips lower and closer to the ground. So in this posture, our knees stacked over the ankle. We've brought our hips forward. Our back toes are either tucked or untucked for whatever preference you'd like. It's untucked for a little bit more balance, tucked for more stability. Wherever you are, we inhale those arms up a little bit taller. Maybe your gaze goes up high to the sky. And then we exhale to sink everything a little bit lower, opening up in the hips here. This is a hip flexor stretch, an outer hip stretch, really targets everything that you need. On your next breath, we're going to bring our left hand down to the mat and then reach the right arm up and over, really shining the heart over to the side of the room. If you'd like to take your gaze up to your hand, that really helps here with working on balance and concentration. Wherever you are, we really want to press into this left hand and then open up a little bit more as we try to stack our shoulders. Another breath here. Really good. We're going to bring our right hand back down to frame our front foot. So this is a good time to grab your blocks, if you have them, or some of those water bottles, because we're going to use them to help get into our hamstring for our next posture. So we're low to the ground. Our hips are forward. Our toes, let's go ahead and tuck our back toes. It helps us with our stability here. So you notice that we're forward. The hips are pressing forward. We have a little bit of lean in the spine and the torso. But for our hamstring stretch, we're going to bring our hips right over this left knee and extend our right leg out long for our hamstring stretch. We want the hamstring to isolate here. So if the hips are stacked over the knees and our torso's up just a little bit more, it helps us get into this posture a little bit easier. Another big breath in. We're going to flatten the spine. Really lengthen here. And then exhale, we're going to fold over this right leg. Now, remembering that we want to keep the stack of the hips over the knee, and this right foot, the toes need to be going up high to the sky. And it's okay to change your block levels if you want here. The most important thing is that we're keeping this right foot straight and our hips relatively square to the front of the room and stacked over this left knee. Again, let's take a big breath in. Let's find that space. And then exhale, we fold over the right leg. Really good. So our next breath, we're going to come up, lift the torso, and we're going to put a big bend into this right knee again. So we're coming forward here with the right knee. We'll keep our blocks if you'd like, as you bring your right block to the inside of the right foot and you begin to heel toe your foot out to the side here for your lizard pose. So for lizard, we're still low with the hips. This is getting into the left hip flexor, getting into the outer hips here. We want this right knee to be stacked right over the right ankle. Our hips are square in front of us. We're just trying to get them lower to the ground. So once you've landed here, you can choose what you would like to do. You can stay here in this position, just working on getting the spine nice and long and working on getting some length here. Or you can bring the forearms down to your blocks or to the mat. Wherever you decide to go with the torso, we're making sure this right knee is always stacked over this right ankle and the toes are turned out 45 degrees. If you need some more stability, you want to keep this left foot tucked, that's A-okay. Or if you want to have a little bit more of a relaxed stance, you can untuck the left toes. Another round of breath here. Finding out what feels good for you. It's okay if you have to change your levels a few times. That's all part of yoga, adjusting to what your body needs in the moment. Another breath here. Then we'll plant our hands. You can use your blocks if you want to, or you can just plant them down to the mat as you lift the torso up. From here, we are going to tuck the left toes, and then we're going to raise the left knee up off the ground. So we're in a high lizard pose. The weight goes into the left hand as we reach the right arm up and over, really shining our heart to the side of the room here. Another big breath in, maybe your gaze goes up. And then a big breath out as your right hand comes back down to meet the left. We'll drop this left knee down. And then we'll take this right knee, right leg, and heel toe it back towards the center. Here we are back into our low lunge. And then we bring the right knee to meet the left, landing in our tabletop position. Doing a few cat-cows here to reset our spine, releasing that side. And then we'll press into our hands, lift the hips up and back. Here we are, downward facing dog. Big breath in here, big breath out. Our next breath, we're gonna lift our left leg up and back. We'll bring the left knee through center, placing the foot in between the hands, and then we'll drop the back knee. Here we are, low lunge. From here, we'll sweep the arms up and over, stacking first, coming up high first, and then we exhale to sink the hips closer to the mat. Big breath in here, find your space. If you want the gaze to go up, you can. And then exhaling just to sink a little bit deeper, remembering that this left knee is still stacked over the left ankle. Our next breath, we'll take our right hand down to the mat and then lift the left arm up and over for our low twisted lunge. Big breath in here, big breath out. Really good. Our left hand now will come to frame the front foot. We're going to grab for those blocks, or maybe you challenge yourself and you don't need the blocks. It just depends on how your body's feeling today. I'm grabbing the blocks. So we'll grab the blocks. We're still forward here, but then we begin to bring our hips back and then extend the left leg long in front of us, isolating our hamstring and our calf here. And you can adjust your blocks to whatever you need to help you feel like you have enough stability and support here. So we'll take our big breath in. Let's lengthen the spine a little bit. And then we'll exhale to fold over this left foot, this left leg. If you have to walk the blocks up a little bit more and adjust them in this, it's perfectly normal. Another deep round of breath here, making sure the hips are stacked up over the knee. And then we exhale just to bring the chest closer to this left leg here. Remembering to keep the left toes nice and pointed to the sky to make sure that we're getting maximum engagement and stretch in our left hamstring. Another breath here. Really good. We're going to rise up. You can use your blocks if you need to as you rise up. And then we're going to take a bend into this left knee. Left hand comes to the inside of the left foot as we begin to heel toe this left foot out to the side, setting up for our lizard pose now on the left side. Same thing applies here. We want our left knee to be over the left ankle. You can keep this right toes tucked for a little bit more stability, or if you're wanting a little bit more ease, you can untuck the toes. Finding the spot that feels good for you. First, setting up for that. We want to find the spot that feels good, and then we go to our depth. So we're going to come forward, bringing forearms down if that feels good for you, staying up if that feels good for you. Breathing here. Another deep round of breath, seeing if we can lengthen the spine a little bit, maybe find a little bit of space, and then exhale to see if we can bring the hips down just a little bit more. Really good. On our next breath, we'll bring your hands down to the mat. You can use your blocks if you want to. As you press the chest up, tuck the back toes, lift the right knee, and then lift the left arm up and over, really shining your heart now to this side of the room. So deep inhale, find space. Big breath out as we sink a little bit lower, open up a little bit more. Our left hand will now come down to the mat. We'll drop this right knee down, heel toe the left foot in, and then bring the left knee to meet the right. Just doing a cat-cow again. And then we'll bring our toes together, knees out wide, ending in our child's pose here. Taking a few rounds of breath. Coming back to the moment, back to the body. Another deep round of breath here. Inhale, fill up. And then exhale to let it all go. Go press into your hands. Lift up the torso. Bring the knees together. Sitting back if that feels good for you. Another deep round of breath. Exhale, let it go.